Hello and welcome to episode 51 of my Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. I am KHM, and as you can see we are hanging out with a Kerbal here who has apparently built a sandcastle on the moon. Now, in this episode, we are going to go to Ike again, because everything got all messed up in the last one. It did not actually save our trip to Ike, so I've taken advantage of the opportunity and have deorbited the ship that had not started flying yet, or had not started making its way to Ike yet, and made some modifications and improvements, and we'll go ahead and launch that up and take that over to Ike instead. But before we do that, I want to discuss an idea that I had in between episodes here. Now, there's been a number of episodes where it's kind of felt to me like it's kind of doing the same old thing over and over again, which kind of feels like it's getting stale to me. So, the idea I had was that I was going to create a list with pieces of an objective or a mission, and I would use dice to sort of basically roll a mission. So, for example, I would roll a dice to figure out what planet we're going to go to, roll a dice to figure out what we're going to do there, like set up a base or maybe put a satellite in orbit. Another dice for like some additional constraints for satellite in orbit, for example, what altitude, geosynchronous, not geosynchronous, or with like base coordinates that I'd need to place it at approximately. Maybe some additional objectives, and some constraints like all stock or no mech jeb, or some sort of budget constraint. Anyway, what I want you, the viewers, to do is make suggestions for things to put on this list. The more crap I've got on this list, the more interesting stuff we'll end up doing, I imagine. Could be interesting. So, in the comments down below, pause this video when I get done talking, or right now, whatever. Pause the video and write in the comments a suggestion of what to add to this list. Okay, have you written something? No? I probably wouldn't have either. Anyway, so let's get on to the launch. Alright, as you can see, the ship is now assembled and in orbit. And let's go over some of the modifications I have made. First of all, lights everywhere. Even the probes have lights now. Got some lights to light up the front bit here to make it easier to dock with. Got lights pretty much everywhere. Got some landing lights. Nice good old amounts of lights. I've also really upgraded the probes. All probes now have mech jeb, a little bit more xenon gas. They also have one of every scientific sensor. They have an ISOMAPSAT dish, so they can map the terrain below. And they also have a xenon gas detector, a side-mounted xenon gas detector, which will allow them to find xenon gas. So these things are way more useful than the original design was. As you can probably tell from the design of the xenon gas detector, I have upgraded that. I've also added another mod called the Graphitron, I believe. I also added another mod that looks like an antenna. I can't remember what it's called. It's like telemetry or something. It's basically like the Graphitron, except that it has a web server that it creates as part of the game that you can connect to from a web browser. So you can get this information that the Graphitron offers externally. However, the Graphitron doesn't actually seem to work. I don't know why, but I'm gonna keep it on. Anyway, let's see, phase angles. As you can see, I've gone ahead and just waited for Duna to come around again. We are at 44.53 degrees, and closing on our on the window at which we need to be going at. Let me just check to see which that is again. Okay, the optimal phase angle is 44.36 degrees. Yeah. I'm going with 3 fuel tanks again, even though that was a bit of overkill, but might as well. It's not like carrying more fuel's gonna hurt. I think that's pretty much it for the changes. So let me just find where I need to burn again. Let's see, I need to have an ejection angle of 151 degrees from the prograde vector, which is about here, I believe. And I'm once again going to go ahead and just do the double pass thing again. Put a few hundred delta V into this. Maybe a little bit further over. There we go. Okay, and I'll once again fast forward while I do this burn. Found Duna. There it is. Okay. We should be about 2 minutes out from the soul switch. Just warp a little bit. Okay. Sweet. Let's see, how are we going through this? We have an inclination of 165 more than what we should have. So let's go ahead and start adjusting our inclination to a bit more like what we want. No, stop that. No. God damn it. Try this again. You know, I can use Ike to help me determine what my inclination will be relative to it afterwards. Whoa. Too much there. Alright, that's probably it right there. I'll go ahead and fast forward while I do this burn. Okay. Gonna rad plus this and see if I can adjust the inclination manually. I guess this is normal plus, not rad plus. Okay, look at that. Oops. Okay, that's probably close enough. So our paraapsis is currently fairly high. I'm gonna rad minus. Oh yes, we're also gonna need the landing autopilot because it will tell me exactly what the orbit will be after we aero brake. And I probably should have kept that tank attached until we started aero braking, now that I think about it. So that way, it would have, ouch. it would have deorbited. Okay, let's get our para-apsis down to, let's say, about 15. We'll adjust it more as we get closer to the planet. Alright, you know, I'm just gonna leave it there. And I'll adjust it more as I get closer. And I'm gonna use this maneuver node system to help me get close without overshooting. Okay, now it does seem like 12 was a good para-apsis last time. Hopefully that'll still be the case. Okay. So 29K or 29 or 2.9 mil. 10 mil. That looks pretty good right there. Alright, I'll go ahead and fast forward while I do the aero braking again. Since, it will hopefully be largely uninteresting. Okay, well, we are, in orbit around Duna, which is quite nice. I am going to go ahead and warp to our apoapsis. Well, I suppose once we get out of this planet's atmosphere. believe we are now out, so warp to the apoapsis. Yep, there we go. Okay, and now we'll bring our paraapsis up to 100. Okay, sweet. And now, what I shall do is I'm going to rotate this thing like so. Tell this thing to kill rote. Alrighty then. And now to figure out which way is up and which way is down. Okay. I am going to go ahead and detach one of these probes. Thinking this one here. Decouple that. And a slight collision cause it to go flying off. What's happened here? Okay, let's go to the Space Center real quick. Something weird just happened there. Mark II probe. Okay, yep, there we go. Okay, cool. Although it appears to be in this rather unusual orbit. No, actually it appears that it isn't the one with the unusual orbit. Let's see, paraapsis is down to 1. Okay. I wouldn't have thought that that would have affected it that much. Anyway, what I want to do with this is get this into a polar orbit. Add maneuver node. Oops. There. That looks like a nice polar orbit. Yeah. Pretty sweet. Okay. So, have it warp to its apoapsis 2 minutes out. Oh man, McJet is nice. Ah, right. Its solar panels are 2. Alright, and I believe I need to manually turn on this engine here. So we'll just turn that on. And power the thing up. And I'll go ahead and fast forward while we wait for it to go through its burn here. Okay, we are now in a polar circular orbit that is fairly low. So let's go ahead and switch over to our other craft and begin preparations for going over to Ike. Let's see. Oops. This target. Okay, what is going on here? I didn't actually give it any Delta V, did I? No. Alright, you know, I'll warp so it stops doing that. And move that node. Aha! So, in our next pass, we'll be getting an Ike encounter. Sweet. Okay, cool. Alright. Just warp over to here. No, no. Start up a low burn. Oh man, okay, no low burn because otherwise the thing will be finished before we get to that point. Okay, looks good to me. Just try to fast forward. There we go. Oh, damn camera changed again. Okay, there we go. Nice view there. And we'll go ahead and warp to our soul switch. Oops. Ah, there's Ike. Okay, and now we shall warp to our para-apsis. And let's go ahead and circularize our orbit. Well, actually, we don't want to completely circularize our orbit. We just kind of want to get started. We want to get it to an orbit around Ike. That's what we want to do. Not necessarily circular, just barely within, not escaping Ike. Like this. That way we can kill rotation. Let's spin this around. Okay. Okay, and now let's detach this one. Perfect. Okay, now we circularize. And watch our probe go off into the distance. See how much fuel we got in here. Oh, we got quite a bit of fuel in there. Way more than I was expecting. So we seem to have come out of this with even more fuel than the first time we tried this. It's interesting. Okay, well, now that we are in orbit, in a nice low circular orbit around Ike, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. There's the sun. Was the sun on the other Ike side of Duna? Oh, that's cool. Alright, anyway. So, once again, I am KHM. And we'll try to land on Ike again in the next episode.